6 million more people in England will now be moving into Tier 4 COVID restrictions from Boxing Day. This afternoon, the Health Secretary for England, Matt Hancock, said it was vital the government act, saying cases were continuing to rise at what he called a dangerous rate. Hospital admissions are now at their highest level since mid-April. So, Tier 4 restrictions will be extended to Sussex, Oxfordshire, Suffolk, Norfolk and Cambridgeshire, the rest of Essex, Waverley and Surrey and Hampshire, with the exception of the New Forest. In Tier 4, you have to stay at home unless you're travelling to work or for education. You can meet one other person in an open public space. Non-essential shops will close, along with personal services such as gyms, beauty salons and hairdressers. No one should enter or leave a Tier 4 area. Other areas are also moving up a tier from Saturday. Bristol, Gloucestershire, Somerset, Swindon, the Isle of Wight, the New Forest and Northamptonshire, as well as Cheshire and Warrington, will be moved to Tier 3. Cornwall and Herefordshire will move into Tier 2. There were no changes to Christmas restrictions for areas in Tiers 1 to 3 in England. So-called Christmas bubbles are only allowed on Christmas Day. The advice is to remain local. Here's our political correspondent, Laila Nathoo.
This sign will soon be turned. Tighter restrictions are on their way in Norfolk and elsewhere in the east and southeast of England. Tracy owns a gift shop in Holt and another in neighbouring Suffolk. Within days, both have to close.
We fully appreciate the fact that these measures have got to be put in place because it's spiralling out of control now in our areas. But we do feel, as usual, the government's left it incredibly late to make the decision.
Not the gift the government wanted to give, having already scaled back plans to allow Christmas mixing. But ministers say the new strain of the virus has forced their hand.
We have learned that when it comes to being a matter of when, not if, we take action, it is better to act sooner. And I know that some of these decisions are tough, and I believe that everybody will do what is needed to keep themselves and others safe, especially this Christmas. And I know from the bottom of my heart that there are brighter skies ahead.
You've just said when it comes to coronavirus that it's better to act sooner. But the Prime Minister said on Saturday that the new strain was present across the country. Your chief scientific advisor said on Monday that it wasn't possible to stop it from spreading beyond the southeast. Haven't you wasted valuable time in trying to get ahead of the new strain of the virus?
The whole basis of the tiered system is to take a proportionate approach to the areas where we need very firm action and other areas where we clearly need restrictions. Added to that, of course, is everybody's personal responsibility.
Labour say businesses in areas already locked down are bearing a heavy burden.
With all of the confusion around Christmas and worries about what will happen in the new year too, we need to see clearer and firmer leadership from the Prime Minister, putting the health measures but also the economic measures in place too, so that we save lives and protect people's jobs.
The government insists it's confident that the system of tiered restrictions in England is now strong enough to contain the new strain of the virus that's spreading quicker while the vaccine is being rolled out. Almost half of the country's population will soon be in the toughest tier. Ministers say they don't want another national lockdown but are keeping everything under review. We've been here before and they had to change course. The cheer of Christmas is muted this year. And for millions facing even stricter rules, Boxing Day will bring a further test of resolve.
And Laila joins me now live from Downing Street. Laila, if Matt Hancock says it's as bad as it is, I wonder just how confident he can be that these latest measures are going to be enough.
Well, George, I think certainly the hope in government is that people will stick to those stay-at-home rules in the toughest tier so that this new variant of the virus can be contained and that they can keep Tier 4, the toughest tier, limited in its scope. There are already scientific voices questioning whether things need to get tougher, but remember there is a chunk of Tory MPs who are angry already at even the Tier 3 restrictions and the impact on the economy. So clearly the feeling in government is they think they are trying to strike a balance. They think they can track this new variant spreading across the country, and at the moment they think it's highly concentrated in the southeast and east of England, hence the action today. Now, They are sticking with this patchwork regional arrangement for now because they think that Tier 3 is working against the original variant of the virus. Clearly, schools, universities have broken up over Christmas, so that will help in terms of transmission. But I think there's a bit of a waiting game going on to see the impact of even the limited Christmas mixing that is allowed. Now, today's announcement was an unscheduled moving of areas between tiers. There is another planned review in a week's time. The feeling in government is that this is a proportional response, but a further short notice tightening of restrictions across different parts of the country and national restrictions are certainly not being ruled out.
All right, Laila, thank you very much.